Hello again, everybody. Todd Michael Putnam here from D&D Creative Table Designs, and bringing to you another adventure table idea. This one is the Shades of the Fae Circus Troupe. The Shades of the Fae Circus Troupe. So, in this particular traveling type adventure, the compatriots are traveling along this road, and they come upon a bard troupe that has set up shop out in the forest and is apparently attempting to practice their craft and hone their skills for their next show. So they're out here in the middle of nowhere. They've set up the rough encampment, and there's a gentleman that's sitting there apparently leading the troupe, and he's sitting in the stands or on the tables, and he's watching and he's critiquing the swordsmen as they practice, and he's critiquing the band over here as they're playing, and of course the dancing lady, and over on the side they've got their alchemists for selling potions and magic potions and stuff, and there's a gentleman who sells other types of trinkets, and then of course off onto the side a little bit here, set away, you've got the mysterious Madam Soothsayer, who reads fortunes and palms and things of that nature. So they're all out here in the middle of the forest by this stream, and they're practicing their skills. And so when the players come in and just to see what's going on, they will tell them, this guy up in the front here, the ringleader, will tell them that that's exactly what they're doing, that they are the Shades of the Fae, and their whole goal is to entertain. They've got a big gig that's coming up in a major city, and they need to refine their craft, but they're having a problem and they need the players' help. And the problem that they're having is that they're being bothered by a lot of wildlife. There's some bears that are coming by, there's some wolves and stuff that are happening, and it's that are attracted by the smell of the cooking meat in their food. And so they're wondering if the players would be willing to protect them for the evening so they can continue practicing and be ready for their gig. And they can reward the players. They can certainly pay them for their services for that night, and they'll make a festive event of it. So this is during the day that this is happening, when the players come. And the first part of the adventure is essentially going to be where the players, it's almost a funhouse type thing, where the players get to engage with the bard troupe, so they can have contests where they're throwing daggers, or they're doing sword tricks or things like that, and they can test their skills against the bards. Of course, if there's a bard in the troupe, then he can try his performance skills for playing and stuff against the Shades of the Fae bard band. And if there's alchemists or anything like that in the troupe, they can test their skills against the other bard troupe members. So, and it's just fun contests and stuff like that. They can have feats of strength, feats of dexterity. They can play card trick games and things of that nature. All the kinds of stuff that would normally happen at a medieval bard troupe type circus event. So, and that's what happens. And then, of course, there are going to be some interruptions during the day. There'll be, a large pack of wolves that comes, and the players will have to fend those off and protect the bard troupe while they continue to practice. There will be bears that show up across the river that are hungry and can smell the meat. And so the players, are going to have to shoo them off somehow. Of course, they could engage in straight up combat. They could do other diversionary tactics that try and just scare the bears off. However the players want to interact with it, that's fine. There'll even be a large, unusual kind of a swarm of rats that shows up coming towards the Shades of the Fae encampment. But the players will have to contend with them. And I might add too, I forgot to mention there that they, in their festive activity, they've even magicked up some of the trees. So it's even though all the trees on their side of the street are in autumn, and they've lost their leaves or they've turned golden, they have magicked up some of the trees to be magical festive colors around the encampment, just to add to the mirth and the wonder of their show. So that's why some of the trees are different colors. It's because the bard troupe have magically enchanted them to be different colors to add to the festivities. That's part of the show that they do. So, and that's what happens during the day. It's basically a funhouse thing during the day. But during the night, when the sun goes down and the moon comes out, everything changes because the shades of the Fae are literally what they are. They are shades of the Fae. They turn into spirits. They turn into ghosts. Each of them will be changed out, and they will have these like little translucent guys, as it were, that color different for different types of ghosts that will come out. Each one of them will transform into their true shade form, and they will begin attacking the players and trying to kill them. And so it turns out into this big mass battle. So, and of course, the bladesmen will be doing blade attacks and whatnot, and the bard troupe here will be, you've got shade, ghostly bards that will be casting their magic and doing their spell attacks and stuff against them in various ways and trying to take out the troupe. Once they have finally successfully dealt with all the shades, what they will find out is that in each of these tents lays the skeletal remains of the bodies of the bard troupe, and it appears they have died a long time ago. Someone had murdered them in their sleep. Travelers who they had welcomed in and had done the same thing, had given them food and just asked them to protect them. Apparently, some of these travelers a long time ago had murderous intent, and they slew the entire troupe and took the gold and stuff for themselves. And ever since then, the bard troupe has they've been unable to rest easy, and so in the daytime there are these phantasms of themselves that go out and perform this circus act, and any travelers that come across, they pull them in, keep them until after the hours, and then when the moon strikes or when the darkness falls, that's when their true shade self forms. They come out and they wreak vengeance upon the living who they feel have betrayed them. So, and there's some clues on the map too, by the way, that something is amiss. The first being that, and it's just a little map trick, on the one side of the road, it's only the living trees. On the right hand side of the road, if the players will be coming from this way, it's only the living trees. On the left hand side of the road, it's only trees that are dying or dead or have been magicked to look something different. So, and that's kind of a bit of a metaphor that you've crossed over from the land of the living to the land of the dead, and the road being that fine line in between. And if the players step off to the left, they've it's metaphorical in nature that there's unlife that's here on this side. And the other thing that's interesting to anybody who might be a sharp-eyed observer is that there are no horses. There are no horses to pull all of these wagons. Where did the horses come from? So, and if the players were to ask, how come there's any horses or anything like that, they'll tell them that they're off being watered someplace else, or somebody is taking them out for exercise, for a run. But the shades will have an excuse for why there aren't horses there. But it is a point of contention, or it is a thing that's worth noting, that could tip the players off that something isn't quite right about this bard troupe that appears to be past its glory, and they're in their faded caravans and their kind of weathered stuff. Obviously, it's equipment that's been used for many years, when in reality, it's been several decades since anything has ever been moved from this spot, because they were slain so long ago. So there it is. It is the Shades of the Fae bard troupe. The first half of the adventure is more like a fun house, and with some combat mixed in, or potential combat with fighting off the wolves and the bears and stuff. And and the other thing that was would be a clue to them is that there's stuff that's being cooked to be eaten, but nothing has been actually eaten. The roast pig or whatever it is that they've got on the fire. Nobody has partaken of any of the food. None of the bards actually eat any of the food. It's because they're not alive. They're undead. So they don't partake of it. So it's all there, and of course that smell of the meat and whatnot is what attracts the animals to them, and serves as a lure to keep the players there long enough until the sun goes down. So that's it. That's the idea. Shades of the Fae, of a undead bard troupe of ghosts that wreaks their vengeance upon passersby because of what had happened to them and how they were wrongfully murdered so long ago. There it is. Hope you enjoyed the adventure idea. As always, please like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in other videos. Please leave any comments that you have below, and you guys take care. Appreciate you taking the time to check it out. Bye.